Welcome to chapter 20 of the book of Genesis. Abraham deceives Abimelech. And we'll go through a little bit in the Greek, and then we'll go through the chapter. It begins, Ke ekinisen ekithen Avram is gen pros leva. Ke okisen anameson charis, ke anameson sur. Ke parokisen in Geraris. And Abraham moved from there, where he was before, I think it was up by Bethel, into a land towards the south. And he lived between Cadiz and between Sur, and sojourned in Geraris. Now we have a map here. You go to that. And we can see that down here is, it says Sur, and it's a wilderness area. Cadiz Barnea is here, and Gerar is up here. Now, how accurate these are to the text, who knows, because it's thousands of years ago, 3,000 years ago, something like that. And Abram said concerning Sarah, his wife, that she is my sister, for he feared to say that she is my wife. He did this once before. It mentions that in chapter 12, verse 10 on, with the Pharaoh in Egypt when he went there. So now he's doing it with a different ruler. For he feared to say that she is my wife, lest at any time the men of the city should kill him. Now the time here has changed, because Sarah couldn't possibly be 99 years old and be attracted to Abimelech, so I believe this was something that happened earlier. Now, I guess some people could argue and say, well, it was just the names of the people were changed. It was actually, this was the same thing as the story of Pharaoh. Well, I don't know. I wasn't there to know which one, but I'll take it for what it says here, that he was a different person, and Abraham did this, telling the person something, a lie about his wife being a sister. We see that in chapter 26 with his son Isaac, who did the same thing with a man also called Abimelech. Now, Abimelech could possibly have been a name like a pharaoh, a ruler of Gerar. That's just my supposition. So then it continues, so Abimelech, king of Geraron, sent and took Sarah. And God entered to Abimelech by sleep in the night. And he said, behold, you die on account of the wife of whom you took, for she is living with a husband. Now remember, I was mentioning how this Gene 1135 can be either a woman or a wife, depending on the context. Here, could go either way. But anyway, God is telling Abimelech he's going to die for what he did. And Abimelech touched her not. Now, it didn't say that with Pharaoh. It sounded like he did, but we don't know. And he said, O Lord, will you destroy a nation ignorant and just? Said not he to me, she is my sister? And she said to me, he's my brother? With a clean heart and with righteousness of hands I did this. And God said to him by sleep, and I knew that with a clean heart you did this, and I spared you, for you to not sin against me. Because of this I did not let you touch her. Now the person of Abimelech sounds like he was a God-fearing person. Somehow God put it in his psyche, in his dream, of what he should and shouldn't do, and he is doing the right thing. And now it continues in 7, and now give back the wife to the man, for he is a prophet, and he will pray concerning you, and you shall live. This is the first mention of prophet. And it's the only prophet mentioned in the book of Genesis. We don't hear about a prophet again until Aaron is mentioned in the book of Exodus, being a prophet for Moses, his brother. And then God continues and he says, "But if you do not give back, you shall know that you shall die, you and all the ones yours." And Abimelech rose early in the morning, and he called all his servants, and he spoke all these words into their ears. And all the men feared exceedingly, so they go along with their leader, Abimelech. And Abimelech called Abraham, and said to him, What is this you did to us? Lest we sinned against you, that you bring upon me and upon my kingdom a great sin? A work which no one will do, you've done to me. And Abimelech said to Abraham, What seeing did you do this? For what reason? And Abraham said, Well, for I said, surely there is not godliness in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. For also truly she is my sister from my father. Now, in chapter 11, verse 29, when it mentions Abraham taking Sarah as his wife, it doesn't give the parentage of Sarah. It just mentions he took Sarah, but here it says she became to me for a wife. She is a sister of my father. That means it would be the aunt. I'm sorry. She is my sister, so she would be the half sister to Abraham. Some people think that the word Adelphi can also be applied to a niece, and I'm not sure, but I don't know if it really makes a whole lot of difference. And she became to me for wife. And it happened when God led me from out of the house of my father, and I said to her, This righteousness you will do for me in every place of whichever we should enter there. So here it gives you pretty much proof that this was a second time he did it at least. And you say of me that he is my brother. And Abimelech took 1,000 double drachmas, and sheep and calves and men servants, maid servants, and gave to Abraham, and to make up for what wrong could have been done. And he is now doing what God says, and he gave back to Abraham, to him, Sarah his wife. And Abimelech said to Abraham, Behold, my land is before you. Whichever it may please you, dwell there. And to Sarah he said, Behold, I have given 1,000 double drachmas to your brother. These will be to you for the value of your person. Now it's interesting you call him the brother. And all the ones with you. And you be truthful in all things. So the money was paid. And Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech and his wife and his maidservants, and they bore. So he closed up the womb. For in closing up, the Lord closed up outside every womb in the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, the wife of Abraham. Chapter 21, we go into the birth of Isaac and find out what all happens with this. Hope you'll join us in the next video seminar, find out. Till then, God bless.